Welcome to the RuleBook. I'm your host, Alex Palmer, and I'm the queen of learning things the hard way so you don't have to. On this podcast, we're going to talk about the mistakes I made and the lessons I learned along the way to create the rules I now live by. On each episode, we're going to be discussing a new rule, how it came about, why I created it, and how you can apply it to your own life. So let's get into it. Welcome to episode number 2, how to deal with trolls. I wanted to do an episode about trolls because I think more and more people are becoming aware of their presence. I think everyone and their mother is now on social media, and everyone seems to be posting and everyone seems to be showing up there more than they ever did previously. So it kind of seems like we're all fair game these days. And you can bet your ass that if more and more people are posting content on social media, more and more people are out there trolling that content. And the thing that I wanted to talk about is that even though we may not love a troll, the algorithm loves a troll because comments are currency, even if they are negative. So there you go. That's your silver lining with the trolls. So I've personally had my fair share of trolls recently. I mentioned that I create New York City rules and I create dating rules on my TikTok, but I mostly create New York City rules. So I have far and few rules that have to do with dating. And I think part of the reason is because those are the videos that get trolled the most. I think anytime I even mention the word men is when people in my comments will start attacking me on my looks. They'll attack you on your age. They'll attack you on what they think they know about you. So I actually tend to not post dating rules as much as maybe I'd like to. But what are you going to do? But weirdly, I was also trolled for my New York City rules. People were saying that I had to be a transplant, that I couldn't possibly be from here, or that the rules were bullshit because I'm not a real New Yorker. But let me quickly say I am a born and bred city girl. So lies, lies to those commenters. But yeah, one time I actually had to full on block some people because a bigger account on Instagram ended up reposting my content. And a lot of the comments were just like, she can't be from here. And they were like very negative. And one girl was even in my DMs, threatening me because I wasn't a real New Yorker. So yeah, the internet is a wild ride, but I think if you're getting trolled for content that's literally about New York City, then the limit does not exist. Trolling, you will be trolled for anything you say and anything you do. So you might as well just hit post. Who gives a shit? But this episode is not about social media. I know, shocker. It's about the trolls that you have to face in your everyday real life. It's about the mother effers who you can see, the ones who aren't hiding behind a screen, the ones who are talking shit to your face or behind your back. It's your jealous friend. It's your shitty family member. Maybe your nasty coworker who gossips about you, or maybe it's your boss who puts down all your good ideas or takes credit for them. And then, drum roll please, maybe it's you. Maybe it's your shitty thoughts that are trolling you on the daily and making you feel like crap. So I really wanted to create an episode about this, which leads me to rule number 2, which is trolls on the internet suck, but real life trolls should be blocked and deleted too. It's funny because as I sat here and I typed out this episode, I had just put up episode number 1. So it was my premiere episode of the podcast. I posted it on Monday and I received the following comment. Boring. And this was as I was writing this episode. So I was like, oh, wonderful. What a perfect time to get like a shitty mean comment. When I do get mean comments, however, I always reply because it helps the algorithm. Hello. But I usually just say thanks or yeah, you're right. Just because one, a lot of the comments are just bullshit. Like I don't even know if half the time they mean to write it on your content or if like, you know, their thumbs are too big for their phone. I have no idea. I'm going to go with that one though. Number 2, you don't know who the fuck is writing that. It could be somebody's cat. I'm going to go with that. It could be like a 10-year-old who's just having a shitty ass day. It could be a 90-year-old who's having a shitty day. It could be a 35-year-old who's having a shitty ass day. It doesn't matter. Don't discriminate. And number 3, I think that people who are doing that, it's not about you. They're just projecting whatever's happening with them onto you. So I don't pay too much attention and I try not to get too offended. Although, you know, I'm human, so obviously shit affects me. This boring comment, came at the most perfect time since I was sitting there typing out the episode, it would have been so easy for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm boring. Thank you. Actually, thank you, because now I don't have to do this. I'm going to close this computer. I'm going to never touch this podcast again. And I'm going to like figure something else out. And I no longer have to expend unnecessary energy onto creating these. So thank you. Thank you very much. But I was like, no, I still have to write this. I still want to do this. I still want to continue to experiment with this podcast. So I'm not going to let that little troll win, even though, to be totally honest, it kind of hurt my feelings because I wasn't getting, I haven't gotten that many comments on my podcast, and I'm super new, so it's fine. But yeah, for one of the comments to be boring, I was just like, ouch, ooh, stabbed me a little bit. What can you do? Well, I know what you can do. You can move on. Just continue writing the episode, Alex, which is what I did. So here we are. But it's true that trolls really fucking suck. And they do tend to come at the perfect time, right? The exact moment when you need a little boost, they come to take a shit in your cereal. So what are you going to do? Did I mention that I'm a perfectionist? Probably not. I've been thinking about starting a podcast for literally years. I used to have a blog, and honestly, anytime some shitty shit would happen to me is when I would post my blog. So it wasn't consistent, but I always felt that I was able to express myself clearly through my writing. And when podcasting was becoming more and more popular, friends of mine were like, Alex, you should probably start a podcast because that's where this is, the industry is moving towards. And I didn't do it. One, because obviously this is very hard and showing up on camera is quite different than showing up on a blog. But I let my perfectionism win. I also wanted to do social media for years and years, and I wasn't consistent, and it's my own fault. But I was also just afraid of fucking up, of looking stupid in front of everybody. And I let that win. So I effectively trolled myself out of doing a podcast, out of doing social media 5 years ago. So you know what? I forgive old Alex for it, but in the future, we will be taking different actions. So the more you know. I actually recorded my first episode of the podcast months and months ago, but I was unhappy with it. And then last week when I published what I did publish, episode number 1, I wasn't completely thrilled by it. It's obviously something that is new, so I'm not 100% stable with it. But I was like, I need to press post. I need to publish this to move on with my life because I don't want to continue to let these excuses be my reasons, because an excuse is not the same as having a reason to not do something. And my excuses were, oh, it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. I shouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the only way I was ever going to improve is to just do it and do it badly or do it averagely. Just try. So that's super important, and I just wanted to stress that. But ultimately, press fucking send. You're not gonna die. You can press send. This is like 90% of life is showing up. 90% of doing a good job is just showing up. You're already like light years ahead of other people if you show up, and that's like a bonus rule for this episode. But you've already accomplished the hardest part if you've shown up. Just follow through. That's all I can say. So spoiler alert, this podcast lives to see another day because I didn't want to let a little fucking troll win. Nope. But it's really not about the little troll who said it. It's just not. That troll obviously represents something else for me. My own imposter syndrome about making a podcast, about showing up authentically, about the shame I feel for trying something new and not being perfect at it the first time I do it. But you know what? I try new things all the time. People who know me know that I'm constantly changing my mind, and I actually do hop around a bit, which may or may not be a negative thing. I don't know. You can see it how you want to see it. Most people might see it negatively. And I do feel like I've been judged for trying all the things I tried, because when you try a bunch of new things, you are going to look stupid. That's just what it is. You're not going to be perfect when you try new things. But I think that's okay, because if you don't try new things and you just stay in your comfort zone, that's also fucking stupid. That's the actually stupid thing. Trying new shit and looking stupid is acceptable. Not trying new shit because you're afraid to look stupid is what's actually fucking stupid. So, mic drop. This mic, it's not going to drop, but you get what I'm saying, right? You can't block your own thoughts, obviously, but you should try to filter them. When I catch myself thinking like shitty ass things about myself, like, oh, I'm boring, or I shouldn't try something new because I'm going to look stupid, or, oh, everyone's talking shit about me and judging me, I try to remind myself, like, actually, are these thoughts even my own? Or is this some shit that someone said to me about me that I just accepted as my reality? You know what I mean? Or, oh, did I see someone else saying that about themselves and I'm just fucking mirroring it because that's what I've been exposed to? So you always have to be very critical about your own thoughts. And I think that will really help, because at the end of the day, so many times, the only little imposter I see is the fucking thoughts, the mind. The mind is the imposter, not you. We're out here just trying to do the best that we can. And then these weird ass little thoughts pop up and try to derail us. Little troll. Delete. Because if you are not careful with your own thoughts, they will convince you that you are one of them. You will look in the mirror one day and you will see purple hair. I'm blonde, honey. I am not a troll anymore. I'm not a troll anymore. I have been a troll, and I have trolled myself harder than anyone on this planet can ever hope to troll me, unfortunately. But let me tell you, it's because I have the evidence as to why I suck. I have the memories as to why A, B, C, D, E, F, G fucking hated my guts in middle school. I have the embarrassing moments. I have the battle scars. I have the personality defects to back it up that I suck or that everybody hates me. So when someone, a stranger, especially on the internet, tells me that I'm boring, I'm just like, well, where are you getting that from? You don't have the authority to speak on whether or not I'm boring, especially based on a 10-second post. So keep that in mind, right? When people hurt your feelings, they don't even have a right to hurt your feelings. They don't know you. Simple as that. All this to say, trolls don't scare me because my own thoughts are 100 times worse. So trolls on the internet, troll away. Because I actively live with the troll, or I've battled that troll. I've been at war with the troll within me. So trolls on the internet, they kind of don't stand a chance. So someone writing boring doesn't have to stop you. It doesn't have to stop you from doing the thing. And actually, in a weird way, that comment can sort of be used to empower you, because you are taking the negative criticism and you are doing it anyway. You're doing it in spite of what somebody else said. And that's kind of great, because you're just proving to yourself that despite another person's opinion, you're going to continue to do what you want. You're going to put yourself first. And I love that. But honestly, you have to show your positive thoughts that they are the true winners. I think even Cardi B said it in like an acceptance speech for an award recently, that she wants to thank her haters because they inspired her to keep going. And I hope that when people are mean to you about your content and it inspires you to create more content for them to be mad about. Good. Be mad at my content. Keep consuming it and writing me mean comments. I didn't care. I mean, I care, but not more than I care about creating my content. So we both win, I guess. I just wanted to say they're called trolls for a reason. You know, when you're a little kid and they tell you the story about how the prince or the princess tries to cross the bridge, but he has to pay a toll to the troll or else he can't cross. That's your negative thoughts. Your negative thoughts are keeping you from accessing the kingdom of yourself. So you know what you got to do? Kick that troll off the bridge. Kick him right off, because no one's going to stop you unless you let them. That concludes episode number 2, how to deal with trolls. The way you deal with them, you just fucking kick them off the bridge. I hope that you will tune in next Monday for another episode of the RuleBook. I will be posting episodes every Monday on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, and I will be sharing clips on my Instagram and my TikTok. And if you do not follow me already, please hit me up on all social media accounts under @SeriousActress. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to continue to do more. All right, bye guys.